with the fan up. I got Santa. I go monkey. Off that. Gonna do just what I say. Pull up, fast as Uber in that race. She's so bad, but she said.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. Tannehill's Dolphins going up against Keenum's Vikings.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. First carry for Kenyon Drake. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. But expanding a little bit on Kenyon Drake, interesting year because hardly used early on. Then Jaycazzz goes to Philly, and he took over as the Dolphins' lead back after that trade.
And was never a lead back in college. He was always that accessory piece who helped him in the special teams as well. So we'll see what the Dolphins decide to do in 2018. See if they give him a little competition at that spot.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Williams. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be...
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, 62 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Cameron Wake in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
A good pickup there at 22. Keenum now on first down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. That's not only Adam Thielen, that's the Pro Bowler Adam Thielen, who had 91 catches this year and over 1,200 yards. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jerick McKinnon, 33 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fights him off. Miami's offense getting ready to come back out onto the field. Take a step back, Charles. You look at the Dolphins in 2017. Look, they were 10-6 in 2016. Many people thought, wow, here we go. 2017 high hopes. They limped to a 6-10 finish, however.
Yeah, and you use the word limped, and it started with the injury to Ryan Tannehill. His knee in preseason, in camp, and then they decided to bring in Jay Cutler. That didn't work the way they expected to work at the quarterback position. Jay Ajayi was a Pro Bowl, well over 1,000-yard runner the year before. The chemistry wasn't right. He gets traded to Philadelphia midseason. And Jarvis Landry, over 100 catches this year, but yards per catch, well below 10 yards. So when you add it all together, not what they expected on the offensive side of the ball.
They'll run with Drake. And he coughed it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be, because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
A swing pass caught. Give him 30 yards there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings. Gun, Keenum, and Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph there to make the grab, and the Vikings have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game, and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offense.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 37 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now Parkey for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
On second down, Cook, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Let's go. From the 50, it's Keenum. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And the Dolphins rush, gets home, down he goes. And Ndamukong Suh. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Here's Keenum now on second down. And Rudolph has it left side. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the red zone now, Keenum. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A shotgun snap for Keenum. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Toward the pylon, caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs from 8 yards out. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Big play there, taking it in. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And some room to maneuver. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there with a return of 102 yards. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
We go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around.
There he goes, left side. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. He's got it. This thing's turning a bit wild here. We're tied at 28. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd and 4. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum going for the deep ball. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
They didn't have a ton of yards to pick up on that 3rd down, but there was no way they were playing that one safe. They decided to take that one downtown. They must have felt that they had a big play that was waiting for them. Unfortunately, it was incomplete.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Good hit there and knocked down hard. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. They'll start the drive with Drake. Oh, able to avoid him. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First down, here's the run with Cook. Finding some room at midfield. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 64 yards. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
On first down, Drake. Room here to run. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Here's Tannehill.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. Tannehill on first down. He goes underneath the Drake. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 32 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now Parkey for the extra point. And things are getting good now. We're heating up, tied at 35. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the 3rd quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the 3rd quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Back to throw, Keenum escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Keenum.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to throw, and this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And the offense in a great spot. It's 1st and goal from the 3. He'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Forbath out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He leaps over him, and he is leveled. Knocked down hard at the 22-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 78 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And an important one that is, as we are tied now early in this fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about it if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. To throw is Keenum. Trying to lay one up deep. And got his man complete. The 30, 10, 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll run with Cook. Shedding through the defense. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Shift together here from the D-line. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 2nd and goal to go now. They try again with Cook. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Handoff comes to Cook. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And shedding through the tackle. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Going back to Landry. This time he's got him complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Back to throw. And it's caught. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 5 seconds, 4 seconds.
Brandon, that tackle right there, that might have just saved the ball game.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown with zeros on the clock, and an extra point will send us to OT.
Brandon, we've seen this many times before. They've got the momentum. They just scored. Go for 2 and end this thing now.
And now they're going to go for 2 and a possible win as this crowd rises to make things difficult. One last throw here for Tannehill. This is caught. And he will get into the end zone to extend.